Hello and welcome to this edition of Meanwhile in the Falklands. I'm Kyle Nappett.
I'm Hannah Newton.
And I'm Thomas Stockton.
And it's been a busy week for us,
It
again.
has been a very busy week for us, hasn't it?
Mainly because we had so many car troubles right at the beginning of the week.
Oh, lordy. Lordy. We had no car over the weekend, so we had to do walking,
Yep,
which was
walking
the most
everywhere.
difficult form of exercise ever.
How was the weather over the weekend though? I thought it was alright, wasn't it?
I can't remember.
I can't remember. I was in a car.
Yeah, I can't remember. But those poor boys at the garage, they were up
Yeah,
late
they were-
on a Monday night.
They were
working
working
on the
their
car,
butts
weren't
off. Yeah, they were trying.
Well, because I had a trip to North Arm on the Tuesday because I was going to artificially inseminate some sheep.
Did you actually
Not me personally,
inseminate?
no. Well, I looked down the lens of this laparoscopic tubey thing
Yeah,
and saw an ovary, which was
nice.
a bit odd.
Was it exactly what you thought it looked like?
Well, actually, it was no. It was quite funny because I expected it to be a little bit more blood and guts and this and that, but
Yeah.
actually it's so quick and they're so good at the process. And Michaela, the lady who's come from Australia to do the insemination, she's done so many sheep and she's done it for so many years that she's so quick with them. Like, she can get at least one sheep done
Yeah,
in
she
a
must
minute.
be a proper.
Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. So they put these two, I don't know what to call them. They pumped these two proddy things.
Well,
into
they're syringes.
Just
but
for
they
the
were like-
listeners' benefit, Hannah is very much
She's stabbing
gesticulating
into
with
the
her
air.
hands there.
Well, so the sheep's like strapped in a cradle upside down, and they put these two things in syringy kind of things in the sheep's ovaries, and then they take a sample of semen on a straw pipette thing, put it down this tube,
Nice.
and tap it once when it goes in one side and once in the other side to make sure that the sperm has gone into the ovaries
Yeah.
and into the egg. And then literally it's whack these things out and the sheep's on their way, which is quite cool.
Sounds pretty cool. Did you?
Sorry, Tom's doing the
Recording
weird
us.
peeping Tom filming me trying to gesticulate about things without me noticing.
I just felt that anyone who might be watching along on YouTube might thoroughly enjoy Hannah's hand motions there.
But no, watch the show next week because that
Yeah.
will be the full-blown report on it. But it was terribly interesting.
You were saying you did some like hands-on stuff
Oh,
while
I
you were
did.
there.
I don't know if I want to disclose what I did. I helped out, I'm going to drop the name, Donna Evans. I helped her. She's a very lovely lady. She was collecting the fresh ram semen. It was a very interesting
Lovely job.
process.
Yeah.
So I went and had a quick go, but I was a bit squeamish and didn't really...
I don't blame you, to
does
be honest.
another form of AI,
Yes,
doesn't she?
she does cervical AI, which is a different way of doing it, and it's more hands-on. You don't have to be a vet to do it, and you can learn to do it yourself.
Okay.
But her way sounds quite interesting. Like, her way's more like a natural way instead of having to sedate the sheep and things like that.
Yeah.
But I think she was saying if we wanted to follow up, maybe you can follow up in a couple of months and see, and we'll compare the differences between the two. I don't know why I'm looking at the recorder as if someone's in there. We can compare the two differences between the two different forms of AI and what's better. Because I was asking about the what the rate of fertility is between the two, and actually fertilising the egg, and I think they're fairly close in terms of which way's best. It's just different.
One must be a bit more time consuming though as well. If you're saying the other one's like one a minute, takes a whole new look at
but then
the
it's
show, one
experience
every
as well,
minute,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like how long you've been doing it and things like that.
The
Like,
more
I couldn't
practice you
believe
get.
how quick. But Michaela, her background is she was brought up on a sheep farm, I think, and things like this, and has always been in that farmy kind of
Environment.
Yeah.
so she knows what she's doing down to a T. But I was so impressed, and it's all like a pop-up laboratory she's got almost. It's really cool, really cool.
It sounds pretty interesting.
So you have to watch the show next week, everyone who's listening.
So that'll be episode 429.
Yeah.
429.
Yes.
One that's not out yet.
Not
can learn
out yet.
all
but
you
next
can
week's-
about
next
sheep.
week's show will be good. Really
Yeah,
interesting.
definitely.
I'd like to do it again,
Yeah.
but we'll see.
So Hannah's been out
Gallivanting.
gallivanting with sheep out into the islands
And the car
into
didn't
the
break
wilderness.
down.
And the car didn't break down,
I
which is
know.
good. Which means that the guys in the garage did an excellent job making sure
Big
that
ups,
it was.
big ups
yes.
to Stanley Services Garage.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some great mechanics in there.
Yeah, no, they're lovely. Lovely chaps. And one of them's actually doing the 3 Peaks Challenge in a couple
Oh,
of
that's good.
weeks.
We were looking for people doing the 3 Peaks Challenge.
Yes. So listener, if anyone's doing 3 Peaks Challenge
Please let
and
us know.
would like to be filmed doing their special training, or if you're eating anything especially proteiny or
Yeah.
whatever,
Are you
special
bulking?
diet, bulking for the 3 Peaks, do let us know.
Exactly. Well, while Hannah was running up to North Farm to go see some sheep, I think, Tom, you were looking at some explosions, weren't you, this week?
I was looking into some detonations, yes indeed. So, as it always is, it's not particularly surprising at all. It does come up, but it's always quite a shock when it does. The remnants of 1982 still come up now and then, especially when some digging's been going on, any construction work. And this week, 2 devices from 1982 were found in the Stanley area. One was found by someone walking their dog by Cape Pembroke. Yeah,
that's a bit scary. That dog.
Yeah, right. So there's a muzzle-propelled grenade, I believe. Is what they called that one.
That's not what you want to find out on a dog walk, because you can imagine if the dog thought it was like a ball or something, and then ran over to it.
Comes running back with it.
Was it on the park?
Was it hot potato? Just off the road, just off the road. So they found that and they detonated. The EOD came down from Mount Pleasant with the Royal Falkland Islands police, and they detonated that. And then about 2 hours later, they got a phone call from the team that's up at the training centre that's doing the construction work up there to say they found I think it was an anti-aircraft round. Jesus. So they had to take that, and they took that over to Cape Pembroke where they detonated earlier on in the day and got rid of that one as well.
Because I wonder whether it's something to do with the weather, because we've been having a lot of wet weather and things like that, and
maybe
whether the weather washes away and turns up the soil, and then things become more visible than you wouldn't normally see with the naked eye. Because
I was thinking, how often is it that things like that are found in Stanley? Because I would have thought this whole area would have been cleared out.
Well, it did happen.
6
it did
or 7
happen
times.
last year. There was a point of where last year up near one of the cafes, Crozier Place Cafe, there was one, and the EOD had to come down.
But I mean, when you think about it, there was one on the news recently in London. You see, they're digging up. They're still digging up.
They're always finding World War II stuff, isn't there?
So it's not as shocking as perhaps like we think it is immediately. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I hear bomb scare and I'm like, top story, go.
Oh my God. I was living in Coventry and there was a bomb scare because they found an old World War II shell or something.
Gosh.
I think they were building a new building and they found an old World War II shell in there. There was a big bomb scare on Coventry University campus, which was a bit scary.
But also, it's like, I think it's scary because if you find something like that in your back garden, you kind of think, oh my God, Jesus.
Yeah, what do I do with this?
I mean, if you're digging up in the garden or doing some gardening, all of a sudden you hit it. I don't know what the likelihood is because it's so old of it actually exploding straight away, but
I don't know.
You never
I think
know.
they can be a bit temperamental, can't they? But I'm no bomb expert.
I'm not a fan of bombs.
Well, we can confirm that there were no unscheduled detonations.
No fatalities.
No injuries, no fatalities this week.
We always say touch wood,
but this week we've got a couple of hours left. Let's not jinx it in the next 12 hours.
No, exactly.
Chat to the Royal Falkland Islands police about that, and they seemed all very calm about the matter and calmed me down anyway.
Apparently, it was getting in the way of some people looking at some whales out on the coast.
Yes. Like that will bring us on to.
Were up in arms.
Whale watchers were up in arms. Yeah, Cape Pembroke was a popular destination apparently this week, not only for the bombs. Yeah, the southern right whales have made their first appearance this year. So that's 3 years in a row now. They've come down to mate off the coast of the Falkland Islands, having not been around here for like a decade beforehand or something like that. So
lovely.
So I know the FC, the Falklands Conservation Crew, had been out looking for them. They were doing half an hour a day for like the last 5-6 months, trying to see if they'd turn up during the season. And it was no, maybe they're not going to come back this year. And
then they turned up
out of the blue. Ironically enough, they turned up, and it was a massive whale of a good time.
People had a whale of a time. But the photographs look really cool.
Yeah, the photographs look lovely. And it makes a nice segue for what I've been doing this week.
What have you been doing this week?
Here
we go.
Slightly more morbid.
Somber tone here.
It feels like it's a bit of a somber than morbid show today. We've got explosions and now we've got tons of stuff about whale strandings. So there's been a bunch of whale strandings in the past few months, and they're making a new action plan about how to deal with them and how to get all the different conservation companies and ocean companies here in the Falklands to work together to research into them.
There are so many individual groups.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's SILE, there's Falklands Conservation, there's the Fisheries Department, and then I think there's
the environmental.
Yeah, the environmental
committee. Well, you must have a lot of external research institutes outside.
Yeah, exactly.
As well, who want a piece
they
of
all want to have a look at it.
Samples sent out to them and things.
Yeah, because I was talking to Caroline and she was saying that apparently a lot of the stuff they know about whales comes from strandings and stuff because it's the easiest way to get samples. But
that's
so
interesting.
it makes it quite important for them to
And
find
that's
them.
Caroline
Weir
from
from
Falklands
Conservation.
Yeah.
And
Whale
am I
expert.
right in saying they
Whale
use they sample the teeth as well as they take a blubber sample, like a skin sample, with a bit of blubber in, and then they take a tooth to find out how old the whale was, so they can split the tooth in half and look at the age.
What, like on a
as
tree?
well.
Yeah, like on a tree
from
things.
like the trunks.
Yeah.
Because with fish you look at
otoliths.
Yeah. It's the fish, it's the bones, their ear bones, and through that you can tell on the rings by the ear bones not only how old the fish is, but also during which part of its life cycle it was further down towards the bottom of the ocean or further up, depending on how dark it is.
Yeah.
So the bone is denser the further down it is in the ocean as it's holding itself down there, and it's lighter and when it's high, when it's living higher up in the water. So you can't, you not only find out how old it is, but also during its life cycle how far up
but
in
I
the
guess
water
I
column it's
wonder
living.
if that's something to do with like the pressure of the water.
I
Because
think
you
it
know
would
when we
be,
swim, when we go underwater and your ear pressure, the lower you get, the more
it's probably
it
due
gets
to the
and your
pressure
ears
and
pop. Maybe the bone is adapting to the environment that it's.
Well, to know all about that, hunt back through all of the FITV episodes and find the lovely Tom Busbridge from the Fisheries Department. He did a whole piece with. It would be 2 years ago. I think
it was a while back now.
Did a whole piece explaining on how they look at otoliths and how it all works.
See, this is really good because I know nothing about fish and nothing about whales, and I made such a fool of myself when I went down to talk to Caroline, because she was talking to me about some whales, and then say whales or sei whales, as I've now learned. But when I was down there, I was looking at this poster and went, oh yeah, well, I've never really heard of SEI whales before. And SEI is the way you spell sei whale. And she could not stop laughing. She went, I think that's the first time I've ever heard someone call it that. And you're so incorrect.
But I just love that your brain went, I don't know how to say this word.
See, that's what she said as well.
So rather than just blurting it out in a way that you think might be right, you spelt it.
See,
those say WHALES.
In my defence, I thought it was an abbreviation for like a whole class, like a classification of whale or something like that. Because I was like, maybe it's, I don't know, South Endangered Islands whales. I don't know, something like that. But no, Caroline had a good old laugh. And then I further humiliated myself because she was showing me this dolphin that washed ashore, this hourglass dolphin, that had the most beautiful black and white pattern on it. And I was like, wow, that looks really nice. It kind of looks like a killer whale. And she went, no, it doesn't. It's just because it's black and white, everyone thinks it looks like a killer whale. And it does not look like a killer whale.
You should have said panda.
I should have said panda.
Yeah,
that would have been better.
The only reason she got uptight about it is because it's her favourite species of animal in the entire world.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So,
it's the only thing she's dedicated her life to. So, you know, having someone completely ignorant walk in and start spouting absolute rubbish. But yeah.
It's all right, we have to deal with that on a daily basis.
No, exactly.
More as in like us inflicting it on other people.
I was going to say my whole life is just me doing humiliating things, so I'm used to it by this point. But yeah, I was also going to say the other big news this week is that the royal baby was born.
Oh,
yes,
Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor, I think is his full name.
What a load of pomp. I don't know, I'm not a big fan of the royal family.
I agree with you. I agree with you in that you're saying that it's a load of pomp, because a couple of those names in there are as well. But is he actually called Archie, or is that an abbreviation of his name?
It's Archie.
So he's not an Archer or an Archibald that they're calling Archie. They've outright called him Archie.
I have read multiple articles analysing his name to the nth degree, and it's Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor.
Oh, you see, that infuriates me to no end. So it's like, if my parents had named me, and no offence if you're called this, and I'm sorry if you're, but if my parents had named me Tom on my birth certificate, I actually, like right now, I'd genuinely be annoyed. I'd rather go by. I'd rather have Thomas, because then it's my decision whether I want to be a Thomas or a Tom or a Tommy. I'm not Tommy. The only person that calls me Tommy is my granddad, and he's the only one that can get away with it.
But because you've got a really short name, don't you?
I've just got Kyle.
But like, for example, if someone called you, if you'd been called Han instead of Hannah, like, why? There's
That is a bit weird.
There's no need. Like, I think always give like on the birth certificate, give the full name, and then they can choose to abbreviate.
Yeah, you can choose if you want a nickname.
What do we think on double barrel surnames?
Double barrel.
I like it.
It's a bit raw, isn't it? I quite like a double barrel.
It's interesting. Although I feel Mountbatten Windsor's a bit of a. It's a bit of a mouthful.
What's your middle name?
I have 2 middle names.
Oh yeah.
That is pomp. My full name is Kyle Robert Irvine Nappet.
Irvine. That's a cool name.
Irvine is Eilish.
Crick.
And it's my
Crick.
Yes.
Crick.
Yes.
That's
See,
because you're KK, aren't you?
I'm KK, and it's fortunate that my middle name does not.
KKK.
Yeah, exactly.
I was gonna
Which is
say.
what I always say. Although speaking of names, my dad wanted to call me. Oh, what did he want to call me? Albert. And I don't know why.
Albie's quite
No, I do know
cute.
why. It's because he thought, oh, Albert Einstein's smart, so I'll name him Albert, and then he'll be smart as well.
But I'm sorry, but who looks at their kid and goes, "That's an
Albert. Yep,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's a bit of a granddad
Exactly.
name. Sorry, mate.
No,
Sorry to
well.
Carl's dad.
But then I feel like names do fluctuate like throughout time,
Yeah,
don't they?
yeah.
I read an article the other day that no child in England since 1994 has been named Gary.
Oh.
The name Gary has no newborn baby since 1994 has been named
Fair.
Gary.
Gary's a pretty
Yeah.
bad name
Ridiculous.
though. I don't like that.
Gaza.
Name.
Gazala.
Gaza.
I was gonna say, are there any names that you particularly don't like, Hannah?
Gary's probably one.
Gary's a bad one.
Irvine. I'm not really a big fan of old-fashioned names.
No, neither am I. Really.
I love the name Oscar. That's the name I'd go for.
Okay.
Oscar's quite nice. I don't know.
See, the only thing that annoys me about names is when people spell them unnecessarily badly or weirdly. Like there was someone that called their child Caitlin. Caitlin, that's a nice name.
Oh.
But it was spelled K, then the Roman numeral for 8, and then Lynn on the end.
God, that's no. And it's like
What?
Coldplay guy.
Yeah.
Chris Martin calling his kids Apple and Blossom or whatever it is.
Yeah,
well,
See,
and Kanye West.
Yes.
North.
Yeah.
See, Apple and Blossom, that's fine. Those are like words.
But North.
But-
Northwest.
Northwest.
Come on.
I'm only annoyed because the rest of the kids aren't named West, Southwest, and then East, West. Because that would have been better. That would
And
have
then he
been
sticks
much
them in
better.
those wings of their mansion.
Exactly.
Maybe he had a bit
West,
too
go
much
to your room.
Oh.
Yeah. I
Okay.
don't know. It must be difficult to choose names though for babies. People go down that long popularity
Yeah.
list, don't they? But one of the most popular names actually in the UK is Mohammed.
Yeah.
There we go. Fun fact.
Makes sense.
It is,
I quite like the name Mo.
Well, I think it's the
Yeah.
most popular name worldwide.
Yeah. I think, yeah. And then the most popular second name is like Lee or something like that because of China.
Is it?
And well, you got China, Korea, and all of the other Asian countries that utilise
Where's
similar
Thailand?
names. Yeah.
Low
Quite
down.
actually.
Quite low down.
I think Thomas is quite
But,
boring.
Yeah. I think it's quite popular though.
But that's the thing. I think it is.
A lot of Toms. And
I'm not hipster enough,
Yeah.
really. Should go by my middle name instead.
Yeah. But I was going to go on to our next section, which is our new Would You Rather section. But we started off last week.
Yes.
It invited quite a bit of debate.
Yeah, I
Wait,
took over
wait.
the Would You Rather.
There's our ukulele sting.
Yeah, that sounded far more like a bell. Paula, come back. Give us your
Come back.
ukulele.
Bring your ukulele. You've been promising it for weeks. But
Right, Carla, what would you rather
I have
this week?
I have a Would You Rather for you and Hannah, Tom. Would you rather only use a touchscreen for the rest of your life, or only for any electronic you have to use a touchscreen, or for any electronic you have to use a keyboard and mouse?
So what? Even like an electric toothbrush, you have a touch screen for it.
Yeah, to turn it on or turn it off or change the settings on it, I suppose.
So anything electronic, like phone chargers, you touch screen on the plug.
Yep. Or like on
What
your
about a car? If you're driving a car, do you have to touch screen to drive
touchscreen.
it?
What, Teslas?
Yeah, Teslas.
Tesla cars, they're all touchscreen. You touch the screen to open the door.
Exactly.
Oh, I don't like the idea of not being able to drive.
Or would you like to get into a car with a keyboard and mouse attached?
Can you imagine?
Sorry, let me just load up my playlist.
Wait, Windows
It'd be like
XP's
Back to the
flashed
Future,
again.
wouldn't it?
Exactly. Or like using your mobile phone, having to use a keyboard and mouse with it. Not being able to
I think I'd have to say touchscreen for everything, even though for a lot of things it would infuriate me.
Yeah.
I think that the keyboard and mouse would just annoy me so much more. Though there is I find something really satisfying about a keyboard.
But wait, is it a wireless keyboard and mouse? Because this changes things.
It
If
could
it's
be
a
wireless. It doesn't have to be. It just has to be a keyboard and mouse.
Oh,
it can
so
be
can
wireless.
it be a touchscreen keyboard and mouse?
No, it
Or
has
they
to be a
come with a mouse and
physical.
the touchscreen
But
keyboard?
have you seen those sort of like those videos where it's like future technology, where like you turn something on your wrist and you
it's like a hologram.
The keyboard comes up as a hologram and you can type.
No.
I'd be that would be cool.
I'm going to limit to a physical keyboard and mouse. That it can be wired or not wired, it's fine, but it has to be a physical keyboard and mouse.
And it's everything electrical. So even if I wanted to make a cup of tea,
you'd
have
to
use
like
a keyboard and mouse and be like, press the word tea on the keyboard.
But what would happen with the touchscreen? Would the touchscreen be on the kettle? And
then you'd have to
burn yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
And therefore, would the kettle destroy the touchscreen? So you'd be replacing your
the new Apple kettle. That's what
Apple
it is.
Kettle. That's not iKettle. Here we go.
iKettle.
I think it's got to be touchscreen.
Yeah.
100%.
As much as it would infuriate me, but I really enjoy like a typewriter and I just like a keyboard. There's something satisfying about it.
But the amount of germs in the keyboards.
Yeah, that's true. But then the amount of germs on the touchscreen.
Yeah, but the touchscreen would be your own personal devices, wouldn't it? So you'd clean them more.
I don't know. When was the last time you cleaned a touchscreen?
Oh yeah.
Don't put me on the spot, Kyle. I never clean any of my touchscreens.
I think one of the biggest issues would be like a keyboard's not a small thing. Even the small keyboard.
You could get one of those ones that rolled up though. That's still a physical keyboard.
Yeah, but that's a touchscreeny keyboard.
Not really. It's not a touchscreen.
Hey, this is Kyle's game.
This is my game.
Here.
I've got to go touchscreen, I think.
Okay, Hannah's going touchscreen.
I think this week we're in agreement.
Yeah.
We're in agreement. I think two to none on the touchscreen.
Better than keyboards.
Yes, indeed. I think that's. Oh God, I've got to come up for my own.
You've got to come up for one next week. They're hard to think of. I struggled with that one.
I'm going to have to go really quite mundane, I think.
It's difficult. It is difficult.
It is.
Sorry, I'm just looking. There's a lovely shirt and a tie on the. Is that yours, Tom, or is that yours?
I've gotten changed once in the office, and in about 5 minutes, I'm running away from the podcast, getting changed again to go and do Insanity. So.
No, because I was thinking of a quick would you rather. But I know there's probably don't have time for it, but.
No,
we'll save it for next time. Not next week, because next week's Tom's, but the week after.
Yeah.
That's all right. You can do it next week. It's all right.
You can't get away from this.
I think we'll finish up on our recommendations for the week. I'll let Tom go first because he was struggling earlier.
Yeah, I wasn't really thinking. I think I'd have to go based on the things I actually looked at this morning. You're involved with all of it, Kyle, anyway. So my recommendation would be, if you haven't watched it, or if you haven't watched it in a long time...
If you steal my recommendation here.
If you haven't watched it, or if you haven't watched it in a very long time, get yourself onto Google and type in Teletubbies,
oh my
the
God,
Bear
yes.
and the Lion.
The Bear and the Lion.
5-minute compilation of the Bear and the Lion. Because
it's an experience.
Yeah, it was a traumatic childish throwback, because how on earth I used to enjoy that television show as a kid, I have no idea. So if you've never watched Teletubbies because you're of a generation before or after, or if you're of the Teletubby generation and you just haven't thought about it in a while, do yourself a favour, get on YouTube and watch that video today. That's my recommendation.
That's Tom's one. Hannah, what are you recommending?
Mine's really morbid on going from Teletubbies to watch Chernobyl on HBO.
Chernobyl's pretty good.
It's a new series on Chernobyl, and it came out, last Monday it was out, wasn't it, at 10 o'clock? Really good cast, although the dad from Friday Night Dinner's in it, playing a very serious part, which was a little bit odd, but
maybe he's trying to branch out.
I know, it was a little bit like, are you looking for an Oscar, mate? It was really good though, very dark, but worth a watch, I think, and it'll be on for the next couple of weeks. The first episode was a little bit slow.
I think there's 5 episodes,
and it's quite, I don't know, you're learning a lot about Chernobyl disaster. I didn't know much about it at all. Not saying it's an educational documentary and take it for fact.
No, it is a drama.
It's really, really, really good, and it's the way they've done it. You're flitting between different people and different stories, so you can tell you're going to be led into different characters that you'll be invested in. Which
and I wonder if you're listening in the UK, it must be maybe not right now, but it must be coming on Sky.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like that, wouldn't it?
I think it's definitely up there now.
But really good. Yeah. And it's got a British cast as well, full British cast. Didn't realise that. Big up Britain.
All right, Kyle, hit us with your recommendation.
I had a couple of recommendations, but I'm just going to choose one.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm going to recommend the podcast Everything is Alive, which is a fiction podcast where they interview inanimate objects as if they were alive, and it's actually really, really good. The most recent episode was they were interviewing a set of Russian dolls, and the Russian dolls were talking about how it feels to sit on a shelf and how it feels to be like unscrewed and be put on the wrong way, and it was very funny. It was very
Carl, you need
interesting.
to get live.
I do need to get a life, but I thought it was very cool.
No, that was really rude. Sorry, Carl's parents, if you're listening. I do love your son.
On that offensive note, we'll end it there. If you want to listen to more of me on the Falklands, you can find us on SoundCloud or iTunes. And if you're keeping up with...
I thought you were going to say, if you want to listen to more of me. I was like, okay, Carl.
Only me.
Carl's recommendation next week himself.
Yes. And if you're keeping up with us on Falklands in Focus, our TV news show, we're on week 428, and you can find it on full-blown high definition on KTV 855, or you can subscribe to us online.
Carl's reading it off a piece of paper.
I am
because
reading
he
it off a
can't
piece of
remember
paper.
it.
What's the website?
The website is fitv.co.fk.
There we go. All right.
See you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.